All right, welcome back to the channel. Baltimore boxer champion Gervonta Davis reports that he has been robbed while he was in jail. If that ain't insult to injury, I don't know what is. We'll talk about the details, but before we do, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. Hit that like button if you wouldn't mind, and if you like the content, feel free to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated. But before we get into that, I just want to tell you real fast about today's sponsor, the Boxing Showtime app. It's a very useful app that keeps you updated on all things boxing, and you can keep up with the latest fights, where to watch them, the latest news, and a lot more. For any hardcore boxing fan like myself, and most likely all of y'all, I would definitely recommend downloading it. And it also is most definitely a big support to the channel. It's available for both Apple and Android, and you can find the link in the description below. Thanks for considering downloading Boxing Showtime's app. But let's get back into the subject matter of the video. According to a new court filing, Baltimore boxing champion Tank Davis reported that his mansion in Florida was burglarized and ransacked after a judge revoked his home detention sentence for staying without permission at a Four Seasons hotel and a $3.4 million penthouse condo he bought in Silo Point, which I do believe Silo Point is in Michigan. It is in Maryland. In an email, the Miranda Grossman, public information officer for Broward County Sheriff's Office, wrote that there is an investigation into the burglary, which happened on the 2nd of June on the block. The case, she said, is active and ongoing. And Gervonta Davis pointed out to the judge, Handy, who had sentenced him to 90 days of home confinement, detention, plus 3 years probation for a hit and run that occurred, that involved injuring 4 people on November 20th. That was the reason why he was not able to stay in a 1-bedroom apartment, because of the demands of being a highly known individual and his security needs. Now, this is very unfortunate for Gervonta that he got robbed and his house got ransacked because people knew that he was not there. However, to tell you the truth, I don't really see too much of a connection between him getting his house ransacked in Florida and the security issues that he has in Baltimore. Because if the judge were to listen to that and just kind of common sense tells you, well, look, if you can't stay in the place that we ordered you to stay in for security reasons, no worries. You can come to this state facility and you will have a bunch of security and you won't have to worry about paying for your security or any of that, right? So I'm not sure how much that situation is really going to affect the opinion of the judge as far as maybe allowing him to get back on home detention. The best thing that Gervonta can probably do is just stay silent, be on his best behavior in the jail that he's in, and hopefully they'll let him out a little bit early when it seems like, everything is kind of settled down. And before they do, let him know exactly where he can go so he doesn't have any confusion. Because if you recall, in one of the reasons that he said that he thought it was okay, he being Gervonta Davis thought it was okay for him to go to a hotel, is because his lawyer said that it would be okay for him to go to a hotel. And that his lawyer said it would be okay for him to purchase a condo where he could stay in Baltimore. So it seems to me as if a lawyer and or Gervonta Davis really thought that it was a stay in Baltimore order and not necessarily a stay right on this piece of property that the judge specified, right? And I remember when the story came out that they had said it was Coach Calvin Ford's home. And so Coach Calvin Ford may have a 1-bedroom. If they had had any type of issue with that, they probably should have said it then and said, hey, you know, that's only a 1-bedroom. And I have to have security there, and I need security around the clock, especially in Baltimore when you never know, man, what can pop off of old disagreements and things like that. So, you know, it's just really interesting stuff, man. I know when most of the people that I've talked to about it have this, you know, opinion that you know, Gervonta Davis is really, you know, just needs to kind of stay quiet, go through what he has to do, get all of this work right behind him, because at the end of the day, man, he was involved in an accident where people were injured. He did get up and leave the scene of the accident. He said that he was guilty. So, you know, as the old Beretta saying, hey, man, if you can't do the crime, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime, right? I tell my son all the time, hey, man, you know, the best way, you know, not to get caught doing something you're not supposed to do is don't do it, right? So I'm not sure why he had a hit and why he got up and left, whether there was, you know, alcohol involved in it and he just needed to get up and go before it was something, you know, worse, like if they would have caught him with a breathalyzer or something and somebody would have been hurt, which probably would have been more severe than if, you know, he just had stayed there. If he had, you know, if he got up there and left, it had you know, an accident because he was under intoxication or something like that. But, you know, whatever the case is, man, at the end of the day, I think it'll all work out for the best because none of the people got hurt. Gervonta Davis didn't get hurt in the accident. And, you know, he'll go through this period of time in jail. And he'll get out and everything will be okay. He'll go right back to He'll go right back to his boxing career. You know, the thing for him is that he was able to not get in that situation, was able to make a lot of money and really achieve, you know, some real big career goals this year by beating Hector Garcia and beating Ryan Garcia. So, you know, and a million pay-per-view buy fight. So, hey, man, he had a lot of really good things going for him this year. You know, sometimes, man, you just got to sit down, man. You got to take your medicine and, you know, it is what it is, man. But again, it's unfortunate that his home was burglarized. That is, you know, you never really want to see that. There's a real feeling of being violated when that type of stuff takes place where, you know, somebody, you know, is taking advantage and stealing things of yours. I'm not sure whether or not his girlfriend and the mother of his child were at that location at the time or whether it was just a house that he had that was completely empty. They didn't say anything about that. But at the end of the day, man, you know, Gervonta will be all right and he'll get past it. And, you know, hopefully this will be the end of, you know, the legal kind of ups and downs and stuff that he's been going through. Because if you don't recall, he's had like 2 or 3 arrests. And this is the only one that wound up with any type of prosecution. So maybe, you know, because he lost one in the court, maybe, you know, he'll be a little bit more relaxed and less likely to get himself in any type of situation where he could wind up in there and risk taking another L out there, you know. But anyway, you know, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.